Alrighty, so today I'm going to talk about the top 10 EZA TURs. Now, we are now entering part 3 of the worldwide download celebration, and we have a new EZA TUR that has been added to the mix, and you guys might know where they're going to be placed, and that is Goten and Trunks. And Goten and Trunks, you know, very good, right? Very, very good character, and it's kind of hard to think of many characters that are better in terms of this realm, but where this video is going to it gets a little bit tricky is we are going to be including super EZAs into this mix. Now, with super EZAs, things get very, very tricky because, like, I have a TUR list. Like, I'll just go ahead and show you the pool here. It's not great, right? I think Broly, you could argue, is, like, in the 10 spot, and honestly, like, I could say something like that. I think that you have some other, like, potential candidates, right? Not many, to be honest. It's really just Broly. I guess you could argue like Beerus or Zamasu you could throw into the top 10, but you guys can see this list here. It is not the most stellar thing I've ever seen, and there is really not much room for just good characters within this top 10 right now. So do keep that in mind. We're working with what we have, and really, to me, it's sort of like a 3 or 4 man show. Of like the list here, so like, you know, 1, 2, 3, and 4 really are like a kind of a tier above the rest of the list, and that does make things a very like interesting, right? Because when you have that issue of there not being like a ton of great EZA TURs right now, it just makes for not the most like you know, debatable list, right? Or like important spots. So when you leave a comment saying like something along the lines of like, how is so-and-so here, really 10 to like 5 is kind of like you can mix and match just about anywhere. I would say like the unit at 10, you can't argue is top 5, but really with these placements, you can do kind of whatever and you could make an argument for it. So I just want to let that be known. Kind of a long intro here, but let's go ahead and get into it. So coming in at number 10, I have the EZA Super EZA Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, I really like running this character next to the Dokkan Fest AGL Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. I think that is a very fun rotation to run. You sort of put Goku in slot 1, and then the Super EZA you put in slot 2. You get to see the big attack stat numbers, and it is a very fun time with that rotation, right? Super Saiyan 3 characters tend to not really be a rotation, but now that we do have one, I think that is respectable. I think that the way this character is going to link with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, let me actually pull up the links for this guy real quick, and we could just talk about like why I think it's so good. Okay, so we won't be doing this too often in this video, but I just want to show the links that they are sharing. You guys can see that in total, they're getting attack plus 52%, lowering enemy defense, and also getting ki plus 4. Just a quick mention of that, you guys can see that they do share 5 links, and this is just overall a really fun rotation. So I think that this character, especially with the slot 2, the damage potential that they have, you know, doing like 3 to 4 supers or whatever, all clearing like 13 million plus, just putting out those huge numbers is very fun, and I think all in all, this is a very good sort of you know, a unit that EZA'd back in like 2017 or 2018 or whatever. Just being able to see them be relevant is really fun. So that is why I have them where I have them. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to number 9. And that is going to be the tech version of Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, he does link up very well with another character that will be on this list a little bit later. This guy is very dodge or die, and one thing that it's the same thing with the Goku, but what I find frustrating about this character in specific is sometimes you are not going to be able to get what you want with them, right? This is a character that benefits from having the 11 key, so you sort of have to go out of your way to try and ensure that you get the 11 key because that is where the best super attack effect is going to be. And when you have to like, you know, keep in consideration things like that, I think it can be a bit frustrating, but all in all, the way that this character links up with like in Gotenks, he fits very well on the special pose team. Just being able to have that role, I think, is really important. So that's why I have this character where I have them. But again, we're starting to get to the point where we'll just do the last Super EZA, or the second to last Super EZA here, and I'm going to put Goku Black up at number 8. I think this Goku Black is very good and fits well on the superheroes or the super bosses team. But one thing is he is very restricted to orbs, and sometimes, you know, you're going to run into a situation, especially on the Super Bosses team, it's where it's like, do I give the Broly trio their 7 orbs, or do I focus on Goku Black getting, you know, his big boy attack stats from having those? And I think that this character, all in all, is very good, but I'm going to put them at number 8 here because I just think that there are better options for this list. So again, number 8, I've got this version of Goku Black. Let's move on to number 7, which is going to be in Gotenks. Now, in Gotenks, I think with Gotenks, it's just the fact that his base form is not great. And when the base form is not great, it kind of just seeps into the rest of the unit, right? Where most of the time that you're probably going to be seeing this character is in the base form or the Super Saiyan form. You're not really going to be seeing Super Saiyan 3 all that often, but there are some longer form events now where you can potentially pull out Super Saiyan 3. It's just not going to be the most common thing in the world, right? So the base form just doesn't leave a lot to be desired. You are just kind of relying on dodging and stuff like that. You want to put them at slot 2, and it just leads to them being like decent, right? Like overall, it's a good character, right? Like being on this list means that you are a good character. But I just think compared to the rest of the list and who you guys can see down below, I just don't see him clearing any of these characters down there. But I do think Gotenks is very good, the way he works on the Majin Buu Saga team, the way that he kind of leads, or, you know, leads the special post team if you don't have Topo. If you want to run like a friend Topo, you're obviously going to be running this Gotenks as well. You're going to be running the Tech Gotenks, and it's just all in all going to lead to a team with a lot of synergy, teams that share enough links, and running them, like, again, this character does fit well on Buu Saga. So far, we have 3 characters from the Buu Saga, and we have a couple more to go, but there you go. Gotenks at number 7. Again, I like his Super Saiyan 3 form. I like his Super Saiyan form, especially with like a character like if you're somebody that's going, or you're going into an event where you can debuff a character, this is where you're really going to notice that this character is shining, right? Super Saiyan Gotenks is going to be able to stun in a fight like Cell Max once you get out of the gimmick and you go into the debuffing portion. You're going to be able to really take advantage of what this Gotenks can do. And then when it's like the last turn and you know that you're not going to be seeing him again, we can transform into Super Saiyan 3, do a ton of damage, link him up nicely with the tech version, and it's going to work out just fine. So a big buff for the special post team, and this guy was kind of like the beginning of the renaissance for that team, if you will. Like, well, not really because the Gammas, but like, you know, when the team started to shine into relevancy for real, like, it started with Gotenks, then we got the Super EZA, and then we have Topo and Dispo and all that. And all in all, I think that this Gotenks is very good, but number 7 is where I'm going to put him. So coming in at number 6, I am going to put Videl. Now, Videl, I really like her, her kit. I don't like her leader skill, and her teams are just okay. I think her leader skill, being Defenders of Justice and Peppy Gals, is not the best, but individually, she can look extremely, extremely impressive. The way that she builds up her attack, the way she has dodge chance, and if you want to, you know, go hyper offensive for like a finishing blow turn, you could potentially go into like the short-haired version and forgo like the defensive build-up and all of those other things. But again, you mostly just want to stay in the base form with this Videl, which I am going to attribute bonus points because, again, you're not looking for a transformation in this case. You are just looking for a solid all-around character, and that's what I think Videl is. She has utility in slot 1. You can put her in slot 2 defensively. Funny enough, you can run her next to Ultimate Gohan, the Tech Ultimate Gohan, and that is a solid rotation because you can do the unit super attack. Now, truth be told, without Roshi, or like a Peppy Gal's lead, I have had a little bit of trouble with running this Videl like competently, just because I've been missing a few characters on the team. But I would like to revisit this character because I think that you could potentially put them higher than 6. But for now, I'm going to put them there just because I feel that the 5 characters below her, or not below her, but above her, are just a bit better right now. So Videl at 6. Let's move on to number 5, and that is going to be Mr. Kid Buu. Now, Kid Buu, I like the support that he is giving, just gives him an advantage over this whole list, right? The support he is giving, you know, he was called the god of showcases for a reason, right? This guy gave so much support, and this is specifically the Super EZA version. I couldn't find it on the list. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I did not see Physical Kid Buu's Super EZA on here. So if you do see him, leave it in the comment section below and tell me that I'm dumb, but I do not see him on here. But going back to the focus here, Kid Buu, again, I really like the way that this character was designed, the way he works on the Majin Buu or the Majin Power team, the way he works on the Buu Saga team, the way that this guy makes Buuhan hit like an absolute, you know, freight train with extra weight on it. You know, it's just, Buuhan becomes so much better when this character, when this Kid Buu is around, because of the fact that he procs big bad bosses, and then he also is giving the support that he is giving. So this Kid Buu, on top of that, also once he takes the hits defensively, he gets that extra damage reduction, he gets crit chance, he just becomes much, much, much better after you give him a couple hits, on top of all the support he is giving. So I feel that 5 is a fair spot because he is never going to steal the show, but he is always going to make sure that other characters that are, you know, inherently better are going to steal the show. So Kid Buu at number 5, I really like this placement. I feel like you could move him below Videl if you really wanted to, but 5 I think is fine just because I really like the Majin Power team. So at number 4, this is where you could go either way, right? 1 and 2 for me are set in stone, but 3 and 4, you really could go either way, right? Like this is, let me emphasize this a lot for like someone who's just skipping to the end of the video. I'll probably say it again at the end of the video, but Kid Buu, or not Kid Buu, Kefla and Exchange Buu very interchangeable. But what I'm going to do is go with Kefla at 4. Her orb restrict, or her orb, like her dependence on orbs at times can be frustrating, but she is definitely better than she used to be with it, because it used to always just be 6 orbs, and now that number has been reduced. That is very helpful. She has linking partners now with like the Kale sub EZA, the Caulifla sub EZA. Like I think Vados is running around somewhere. The Universe 6 team is just okay now, but you can make this character look a lot better. We have Kaba, the 60% support coming in, who's an orb changer, and really can make this Kefla look extremely impressive. But again, with Universal Survival Saga, the cut is harsh, and the dependence that you're going to need for this character, or the situation you're going to have to put them in, is not exactly like perfectly ideal at the moment. So that's why I have her at number 4. And then at number 3, I have Exchange Boo. Now, Exchange Boo, he's so high up on this list because of the Evil Boo portion, where, you know, this is a character that can go in slot 1. He has the high damage reduction and the dodge chance that you have in slot 1. If you need to go on the hyper offensive towards the end of a fight, you can transform into Super Boo. You have the sealing utility, if you can do a sealing to a super attack, that you have in the second phase, or in the second transformation when you're into Evil Boo. Just this character has a ton of utility, and all in all is just doing impressive numbers offensively, defensively, and just works very well with, like I said, the Majin Power team, which is a relevant team, but not like a top. I would say like right now Majin Power is probably in like the top 7, where it's like, you think about like the best teams in the game right now, right? You think movie heroes, we're thinking movie bosses, we're thinking super bosses, we're thinking superheroes, Universe 7, Universal Survival Saga, right? Boo Saga's up there, the Power of Wishes, the Super Saiyans team. Like Majin Power is in that top 10 range. And, you know, Exchange Boo is one of the highlights of that team. So that is why I have them at 3. But if you do want to put him down at number 4, I think that's completely fine. You can mix and match Kefla. You can mix and match Exchange Boo. You can even put Videl above both of these characters. But right now, this is the spot that I like, just because I like the Majin Power team. And it is going to be a little bit of bias. So with that being said, we have come down to the final 2. And at number 2, I'm going to have Tech Ultimate Gohan, which means only one thing. We will put Goten and Trunks up at number 1. Now, we can briefly talk about these two, because I'm sure we all know about Goten and Trunks right now. Offensively, they have just gained a ton of numbers. The number crunch on them is absolutely wild. Like, they're going up to 30 million attack stats pretty easily. You know, they have the guaranteed dodge on the active skill, which is just something that if you can hold on to it and make it to like the end of a fight and get that guaranteed dodging, that is going to be so important in the matter of a fight, and just all in all is going to be really, really helpful. So that is why I have this character up as high as I do. You know, they have the unit super attack. They have characters that can potentially support them. The Tech Trunks so far is a character I've been running next to this Goten and Trunks, because there are exclusive orbs that you can get from farming up the crystals and buy those for that version of Trunks. And he works pretty well in slot 2 next to this Goten and Trunks. So that is why I have them as high as I do. Just offensively, that output really can't be matched by any of the characters below them. And then Tech Ultimate Gohan. We all know how Tech Ultimate Gohan works, and then they also added attack debuffing to him on top of everything else. We're talking a lot of the times you're getting 3 to 4 supers turn 1. We're getting 4 attack debuffs. We're getting the great defensive, greatly raising their defense on every super. It's a lot, right? Like, we are getting a ton of defense. We have stacking. In long events, that guy, when we get up to a certain point, he's just basically untouchable. If we need to transform and get that extra defensive raise, we can. We have the utility at our hands. He works well on teams, like, you know, Boo Saga and stuff like that. Works very well next to Videl. This is a solid EZA, and that is going to round out the list. So, for those of you who just skipped to the end, here is the list. Number 10, we have AGL Super Saiyan 3 Super EZA Goku. At number 9, we have Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks Super EZA. At number 8, I have Physical Goku Black's Super EZA. At number 7, I have EZA in Gotenks. At number 6, I have STR EZA Videl. At number 5, I have Super EZA Physical Kid Boo. At number 4, I have EZA STR Kefla. And at number 3, I have Tech Exchange Boo. Again, we could flip Kefla and Exchange Boo. I'm fine with that. Like, go ahead. Number 2, I have Tech Ultimate Gohan, and then at number 1, I have Physical Goten and Trunks. So let me know down below what your EZA TUR list is. If I had to throw one honorable mention on here, it would be that Broly. You could potentially do something like this, and I think it would be fine. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that. I just think Broly should have been better. But that is the list. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you are new so you don't miss out on any of the Dokkan content that we have around here. Try and post a video every single day. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you sub. We're on the road to 10K, and I'll see you all in the next one.